Hey guys, Chad here from CNR Reviews. We have got the Smith & Wesson M&P Shield and the Kahr CW9 here. These are both 9mm subcompact guns. We've been doing some comparison videos between the Shield because it's a new gun for us. And as you know, if you've ever seen our comparison videos, we like to compare it to one gun at a time. That way we can give it enough time to go over features and then the size. And then usually we talk about price. The M&P Shield, like I said, is brand spanking new for 2012. It is a really nice gun, guys. And you know what? So far, I am super impressed with the quality of the weapon. We will see exactly how it performs based upon shooting and stuff. We haven't had a chance to get it to the range yet. We also have here the Kahr CW9. So Kahr CW9, so far we haven't put more than 50 rounds through the gun. We are working on it. We have not cleaned the gun since we initially cleaned it. We're going to try to run at least a few hundred rounds before we give you a review, but so far it's been flawless in those first 50 rounds, and Kahr says there's a 200 round break-in period of this weapon. Let's just real quick talk about features of these guns. They're both going to be a little bit different, and the reason why I say that is because of the triggers. The Kahr relies on a heavy trigger as its safety. And so what you have is a heavier trigger with very little take up. It's a nice pull and a nice clean crisp break. But as you can see, it broke really far back on the frame. Let's do that again. I'll show you. So as you can see, it breaks really far back. But it relies on that long trigger as its safety. A lot of guys prefer that. And you know what, for me personally, either way, I think it works. You can run a safety if you practice with the safety, and that's a lot of people's fears. You want a simple, stupid gun. And I don't mean we're not calling you stupid. What we're saying is something that in the heat of the moment, your high stress level, adrenaline's pumping, you don't want to forget to remove that safety and your life depend on it. You pull the trigger, nothing happens because your safety's still on. Yeah, it takes another half second, quarter second to flick it off or on or whatever you have to do, but that can be your life. So the Kahr has a really nice heavy trigger. Other than that, as far as features go, combat sights. It's got just a line in the rear, front dot sight. The rear sight is driftable. And you know what? This is a feature I'll talk about that I really like. It has a metal guide rod. Love it. It's fantastic. This guy's also wearing a set of Talon grips that does not come standard on the gun. This is the rubberized version, and I think whenever Talon Grips gets their stuff ready to go for this guy, I'll probably pick up some for them. Now the Kahr only comes with one magazine. It's a little 7-round mag, single stack. And you'll see what I mean by single stack in a second when we look at how thin both the profiles are on these guns. With the Smith & Wesson, as far as features go, like I said, you have that safety. It's a rear safety, and you can push up for safe, down to fire. Now, when you push up for safe, it locks the trigger. Can't move that trigger any further. Let's go ahead and charge it. We'll show you the trigger on this thing. It has a nice trigger pull. A little bit of take up, a little bit of slack, and then it breaks immediately. So as far as triggers go, I've said in the past, I think Kahr has one of the best triggers for carrying because it is super smooth. This one has such little take up and it's such a nice break that you know, it's in a different category. I think it's a little bit better even than the Glock. Some people are going to disagree with me, but I like the feel of the trigger. It's a 6.5 pound pull. Like I said, if you're going to use that safety, you want to make sure that you train with it. It is a positive safety. It goes up and down real easy, and you can do so very, very easily with your thumb, with the bone of your thumb. If it is up, you want to train just knocking it down, pulling the trigger. Nice combat sights, and they are full-size combat sights. Now, according to the manual, Smith & Wesson says that even though this has an Allen screw in it, rear sight's not driftable. You want to drift the front sight instead. There's the front sight. It is driftable, as you can see. Nice bullet indicator on top. That is one thing I did not touch on with the Kahr. The Kahr has something that's very similar to the Glock, is when you load round and is chambered, the extractor sticks out just a little bit, and you can feel it and see it. This guy, you can see the cartridge in the chamber, and you also can see the extractor actually will pop out when there's a round in there. You could feel it if you need to. I don't know how well you could feel it with gloves on if you are going to be using this in a situation where you have in a tactical situation with gloves, but it looks like it protrudes a little bit. Other than that, as far as features go, like I said, nice guide rod. This has a metal guide rod as well. It's a dual spring guide rod, and I thank you, Smith & Wesson, because now I don't have to go buy another one. Comes with 2 magazines. One of them is a 8-round magazine. It has an extended base plate, so you can, this one I would say would be great for target shooting. You can also conceal with this if you like, or run it on your hip like that. To me, you can fit all 3 fingers on there. It feels nice and positive. Also comes with a 7-round magazine, so you're losing 1, but you get a flat base plate. If you run with that flat base plate, you can almost get 3 fingers on there. This is going to be the defensive mag. So both of these, though, to me, you can put in your pocket with either mag, and the gun kind of melts away. So far, I've been really impressed with how well it hides. Part of that is because of size. Let's talk about size real quick. Well, let's look at the profiles of these guns, especially the slide width. As you guys can see, they're very similar in slide width. When you compare this to the Glock, I already did a comparison with the Kahr CW9 versus the Glock 26, and also with the M&P Shield. They're both significantly thinner, running around an inch. Now the Kahr, because it does have such a large slide release, it does protrude just a little bit, just in that area, a little bit more so than the Smith & Wesson. Let's go and look at length on the slides themselves. Let me do this for you. You can see these guys are almost identical. Look at that. The Kahr looks like it's just a hair longer, but pretty similar, guys. Like I was saying, the single stack mags, and let's look at here. This is a good idea. It's going to show you actually the height first, and then we'll talk about that. But this is the height between these two. Let's get them centered. There we go. You can see they're almost identical. M&P's a tad bit taller. You can see they're very thin, and actually even the actually the M&P's not taller. It's the Kahr that's a little bit taller. Sorry, but you can see that the M&P is super thin for that single stack mag, and so is the Kahr when you compare it to a double stack. You do lose some capacity because it's not a double stack, but you gain that concealability because they are so thin. So let's quickly talk about price between these two. You're going to have a little bit bigger price difference than what was initially with the like the LC9 versus the M&P. The Kahr I picked up for $329. It was on sale. They usually run about $360, $370, somewhere around there. I've seen them go over $400. Do not pay that much for that gun. Seriously, there's other guns in the category that are going to be with different features. Unless you really like Kahr, whatever. The M&P I paid $370 for. So to me, it was a $40 difference between these two. The difference, I would say, is I got 2 magazines with the Shield, with the M&P Shield. I got 1 mag with the Kahr. Now, if I was to go buy a second mag with the Kahr, it would put the price almost identical. So these guys are both great carry options. If you're looking for a concealed carry gun, you want something that is going to be high quality, the manufacturer is going to stand behind. You want something that it has a decent capacity. 7 to 8 rounds is going to be about perfect. If you need more than that, I suggest buying a second magazine. And with the Smith & Wesson, you do get 2 mags, so you can carry the 2 mags. And then, like I said, it's going to put you at the same price point. I think that having the safety has got some positives to it, but it also has some negatives. I think that having just a trigger safety has got some positives, but it also has a couple negatives, and it's all going to be personal preference. Other than that, guys, if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. This is Chad from C&R Reviews, Smith & Wesson M&P Shield 9mm, and the Kahr CW9 9mm. Check them out, guys. Thanks a lot for watching.